Got things to say. Let me get this thing on real quick. I'll be right back. I am back. Let's get this thing going. Let's see what I got. Hello, hello. How y'all doing today? Thank you for coming in. Doing good. Just coming on. Just coming on. Good to see everybody coming through. Wow. I'm not expecting everybody coming through because I usually takes a while. Let me set out some reminders. Thank you for coming through. Just coming on. Uh, tell me where you're coming from. I'm just setting up shop. Usually I'm not expecting everybody to be here, so this is good. This is good. Good, 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 good. Please hit that poll question too, by the way. Let me get everything started. Um, and I am sending out notices, so don't be alarmed. So anyway. Anyway, good to have everybody on today. Yeah, I just got on and I just was sending out all the notices because, as you know, I go through my various apps. So that's what I be doing because, YouTube. So you got to kind of finesse it. So this is I just got back from grocery shopping, got through taking care of some stuff. I am on here today. Questionable for Saturday, Sunday for sure. So that's the way it looks right now. So that's the latest I can tell you. Maybe Saturday, but more likely Sunday. So I'm gearing up. Um, Hopefully, happy Tuesday to people. Morning, afternoon, night. Maybe it's early Wednesday. Thank you for coming through. Just coming on in here and just meeting up with some folks. So hope everybody's doing good. Hope your day's going well. Yeah, this question was about Jill Scott, the singer. She's got a new record out, and so she got asked somewhere on some video who the king of pop was, and she said Chris Brown. She took major backlash, and she turned around and she said Prince. And I ain't gonna have a problem when it's somebody legit. That's what she didn't say the new. She said the king of. She didn't say new. The guy asked her a question because I saw the video last night and I did the video, and he asked her who's the king of pop. She didn't say new. She caught backlash talking about she had jet lag. Then she turned around and said Prince was because she caught backlash. That's what I said. I said if you're gonna say somebody legit, I can understand. But and that's how she got caught herself in the rears. You know, anybody that's legit, but not Chris Brown. I'm like, come on now, you know better than that. And I was talking to a cat online yesterday because he said she's 53. She should know better. I said, well, she was on that Michael Jackson number ones. I said, but you see, a lot of these acts be lying on TV. They cap. They say all kinds of stuff for the camera, but what they really like, we don't know. That's why you can't take what they say. I'm telling you, because think about it, if you use that for politics, you fool and get your feelings hurt, and she fool around and be talking about mega hats and mega clothes, get your feelings hurt. But yeah, it was a trip. hmm But you know, again, it's show business. What you expect? People lie all the time. But anyway, I'm here today, so let's see what we're talking about. Feel free to give some thoughts and some comments and some thoughts. I will be on as long as I see the places happening and people are talking. I'm almost done sending out all my notifications, so that way, if you follow me on social apps, then you can understand I'm coming here. That's why it's good to be here today. So we're here live today. Yeah, I just did a video about it, so check it out. It's on YouTube. Oh, I love Don Lemon. Don Lemon be clapping on people. I just said she eliminated her. She's out her jurisdiction. She need to shut up. She got all them purrs in her house, and she just sucking up to Trump because she trying to get a pardon for something. Nobody cares about her whack career, and and she can fool around and get deported. I mean, she's a clown. She's a clown. Don Lemon is dropping a lemonade on him. I'm loving it. Don Lemon is he didn't even go on her hard as he did Stephen A. Smith, but he went on her hard enough where I saw the video. I was like, go right on, Don. She trying to talk about his preferences and stuff, but that's all she got. She said he ain't no journalist. I know. Because she sucked up JD Vance's all hunky dory with her until they get tired of her. I don't tell people all the time, you that don't mean that the turkey won't flip on you. Plus, you gotta remember something. She's a Diddy pet, so she could be trying to angle to get him out. hmm There's a lot going on. I don't know who you are. And if you're trolling, you won't be on here too long. And I don't really like trolls. So Yeah, well, you can king of pop somewhere else. I don't have time for no trolls. If you got nothing to say, you got to roll. But yeah, Nikki's in a very vulnerable status at this stage. We don't know who's gonna buy her whack records anyway, so we don't know. All right. All right. I am back. I just had to send one more notification out. Don't be alarmed. The screen goes. It just means that I'm happen to put something out there. So who said that was great shot? Got more attention. You never asked this question before. Tammy Terrell never did get much of attention. Um, she she was kind of downplayed with the abuse she went through. If you must know, she was Marvin Gaye's greatest singing partner. James Brown uses a punching bag, and she had tumultuous relationship, I think, with David Ruffin. So she never got her due. Um, could sing though, and I'll tell you a story. Valerie Simpson from Ashford and Simpson was actually singing the parts the last few years in the studio. Florence Ballard um, was her death was like a big thing that had more attention. So I think that the Florence one did because of Supremes. That's a good question. I'll use it for a future. I usually don't do those sort of type of videos, but I'll do that. Got me thinking. You know. I remember the Florence Ballard thing because that was really talked about, and she was only 32. So it was a really big one. Tammy Terrell didn't get quite the same attention, though. More so as time has went on. Not so much at the time. So it's a good question, though. All right, now. Thank you for the comments and everything. So yeah, Jill Scott, I mean, she had to know what she was saying. Mm, mm. That's why I think she'd be high most of the time. You say King of Pop, most people always think Michael Jackson. His impact on the culture alone. I remember it was this guy named Scott Calloway. He's a R&B writer, and he said the thing that we all knew. Said Thriller shut down everything for like 82, 83. Like it shut it down. Like that's all you listened to. That was a shutdown. So, mhm. But I don't know. Oh, Debo, come on now. Duncan was more actually more rounded. But Debo was more, I'll use that for a future one. He was more the one. Everybody, like, I'll give you an example. Uh, I remember I was having this conversation. I don't want no trash on here. I remember I was having this conversation, and somebody I talked to, we was talking about, and somebody said, "Don't get Debo." Debo had that kind of reputation. Michael Clark Duncan would beat you up, but Debo, you just thought was like, you know, because I remember watching him in Jackie Brown, and he always played that role. You can get out of here. I'm not gonna be dealing with no sorry but trolls. Troll somewhere else. I don't know who Anna Marie Horsford is. I know who Jeanette Herbert is. What was Anna Marie Horsford in? The only Anna Marie I know is Anna Marie Johnson, light skinned sister, tall, was in a lot of different projects back in the day. I don't know who Horsford is. I'd have to look her up. Why am I getting hit with these Trump trolls? I don't know. Turkey's coming on here thinking like I'm gonna be. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna be on here for long. I don't want no trashy racists on my network, so you got to go. Because remember the ball game last night with Indiana and Miami? What happened in the press box? Boo! And that's what Trump got, and that's what he deserves. Get booed. And no, he can't have Greenland. I tell you, these people are trying to run me off of my own channel. This is so sad. I'm not even talking about politics, and I got to deal with idiots today. That's when you have no manners and no respect. Just a shame. You have a decent live stream, you got idiots trying to wreck it. But you can tell the idiots who've been watching my videos because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Trying to derail everything. Faith on Love versus Orlando Brown far as what? I like Orlando as a personality, but he ain't really got much going for him. Like, which I like the cat, but it's what for what? And Faison is a fourth tier comedian. Oh God, really? Come on now, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. Come again. That's like comparing. That's like comparing. God, let me see what could I pick on. That's like asking me um, Jessica Simpson versus Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, you that's kind of digging at the bottom. I mean, they're both low budgets, and you know. But if I had to pick out the two for a career, I got to give it to Faison. Red, come on now, come on now. I like Ronaldo Ray, but Red Fox is a legend. Red Fox changed the course of TV and stage. Ronaldo Ray is like a cat that tells some jokes that may have gotten an episode of Red Fox. Red Fox was the episode. Come on now. You got to give me something to work with. That's not even fair. The only thing they got in common is they both light skinned and red. That's all they got. Ronaldo ain't bad, but saying you ain't bad compared to Red Fox is almost like saying you're like uh Trey Songz compared to Luther Vandross. You know where I'm going with this? Trey can sing a little bit, and that's it. His little bit compared to Luther Vandross ain't gonna get you around the corner. Come on now. I expect you to come with some real heavyweight material. This ain't heavyweight. Phase on love, but I like Orlando Brown better though. Now that's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it. It would have been Robin had he lived, because Robin Harris had the makings of being the next big thing. But I do like Witherspoon a lot. If I'm going with, and they both scared white folks too, because I heard the story about how they wouldn't give. You do know Witherspoon got turned down by NBC because they said he was too black. They told him that. So if you give me who's more versatile, I'm going with Witherspoon. But Robin Harris was funny. Had he lived, because that was a precursor to Bernie Mac. He was funny. And I used to love his stand up. I'll listen to that. Follow the drip, follow the drip. Sad me in stitches. But I have to give Witherspoon because he's more versatile. Now that was a good one. That's your best one yet. The one that make more sense too. And yeah, I'll use it for a future video. But you can't be asking about Ronaldo Ray against Red Fox and Phase on Love in Orlando. I mean, to be time acts don't get no prime time. I know them, we know them, but they don't even want to believe that one. But I do think John Witherspoon, he's one of my favorite cats though. And Robin Harris, like I said before, had he lived, so all right now. Let's get some more up in here. Keep on hitting the likes up, keep on taking the poll up. And let's see what we're working with. Cough drop. Lemon drop. Corn. I don't know who that means. And come on, please introduce yourself, tell me where you're coming from. And if you got any questions, feel free. And hit the like, pick the poll, feel free. Coming to you live today. Okay. Kevin Hart by default. Kevin Hart by default. Because Anthony Johnson was like a hood comedian. I liked him, but Kevin Hart's going to win that, though. I don't know who you talking about. 80% saying yes. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Well, gonna see anybody's got any comments and thoughts. Oh, Teresa Randall, but Robin Givens had the better career. It's a good question too, because if you remember Teresa Randall, and they kind of favored too, and I think that was done on purpose. There was a segment of black female actresses that were kind of happening in the 90s, but Robin Givens got over. Robin was like the black version of Brooke Shields, you know. And she was like a, you know, that's not a fair comparison. I like Shirley as a personality, and she almost had like the Shaquille O'Neal thing when she was on the show because it was, but come on, Esther Rose runs circles around her. Esther Rose is a thespian female actress that scary versatility. Esther Rose wasn't about wasn't comedian per se, but she was a better actress. That's not a fair comparison. You got to put Esther Rose up against Ruby Dee or some heavy hitter. Shirley, I like Shirley Hemsworth, but there are tears to this though. Okay. Doing pretty good today. Got a lot of people come through. Art Evans? Which one is Art Evans? I know Mike Evans. Who's Art Evans? And ain't too many people gonna touch John Amos though. Hmm. Okay. Trying to think what he was in. Hmm. Hmm. I gotta take John Amos in a blowout. Still not registered. Okay. Anyway, let's get some questions going. The more I see, the more we can do. We got a good rapport. Hmm. I know you know. Hmm. Oh, okay. I know who you talking about now. Now, John Amos got him beat. John Amos got him beat. He was a good role playing actor. He always had those speech things that he did. He was good for what he did, but that's a role player. No, John Amos got him beat, but he was good though. Kim Field. Because Kim Field could still come on with the show right now. Karen Parsons was cute and pretty and all that. But besides Major Payne, a couple other things, Kim Field had better body of work. Kim Field. I will use that though. Um, this is a tricky one because Jasmine Guy, all her peak was pretty much around the same time, and Karen's was too. Oh boy. Mm, that's a good one. I would probably say Jasmine Guy because Hollywood Shuffle, Harlem Nights and School Days was bigger, different world. Karen Parsons had a chance to be more crossover, but I gotta say Jasmine Guy. Of course, everybody gonna want to know who I thought was more better looking of the two, because that's what the cats. I dug them both, all three of them. But I think Jasmine Guy back then had an aura about her. Should have been bigger. Should have been bigger. Oh, Tatiana. She had the it for a moment. She was like your made for TV version of Aaliyah. If we think about it. If you think about it. Because you got to remember, it's about who hits the windows and who leaves the lasting impression. So that's what a lot of people don't understand about the business. Imagery, crossover appeal. Let me look at Reagan Gomez Preston now before I talk some more. Yeah, Tatiana. She was good though. She actually had more of a career, but she didn't have the windows like Tatiana did. She didn't have the windows. Like if Tatiana got on the screen, been bigger. But that's a good one though. But when you see Tatiana, you just think she's gonna be bigger though. That's some interesting names you mentioned though. I like Karen Parsons a lot, but it just wasn't. It didn't really register to the next. Jasmine Guy had potential with it. And there was a moment where black female actresses, Neil Long, Halle Berry, you had uh, um, um, I can't think right now, but it'll come to me. There's a lot of them that had a chance, but yeah. Mhm. Okay. If you're still on, give me some more questions. See what's up. Two different lanes. One's a filmmaker, creator, and the other's an actor who writes, but it's not really a fair comparison. They work together. You asking me what? What's your question? If you're asking me who had more versatility, it's Robert Townsend. He worked with Keenan, Hollywood Shuffle. They work together. Dame is underappreciated as far as his comic talent, but he's done a lot of what I call hokey, predictable type of movies. Whereas if he came out today, he probably would have been bigger. He's had moments, TV and film. We're going based on the numbers game. And that's the thing about the Wayans. It's kind of blurry because who was really the baddest of all? Keenan is probably the baddest, but they all got talent. So that's an interesting mix of those three. Because Alan Payne's out the equation. If this was the 90s, yeah. And this is the truth. Lawrence Tate by default, and let me tell you why. He's getting ready to play Barry Gordy. He didn't play Ray Charles. He played Quincy Jones. He played Frank Lyman. I take Howard's range over him, but um, Lawrence is a really good actor, and I think Lawrence's height works against him. I think if Lawrence was about 3 or 4 inches taller, he'd been a problem for Anthony Mackie. He'd have been a problem for others. But I think that's the thing that worked against him. I think Terrence is the better actor, but Terrence underachieved. And Alan Payne, it all peaked and went out the window in the 90s, basically. He because once he did the Browns and worked with Tyler Perry, that was pretty much it. So Terrence should have been bigger. He should have been the black version of Johnny Depp. Should have been bigger. But he wouldn't play the game. So he didn't do cheeks for checks. They ain't got no use for him. Lawrence Tate, it's playing somebody or it's a smooth operator type. So and all three of those cats got different ranges. Alan Payne could definitely size up as a sidekick dude. Terrence always talk real fast, player, hustler. And Lawrence Tate had like a nice middle of the road vibe. So he's got a different gift. Oh, surely, Ralph. I do like Douglas, but versatile and been around forever and a day. Once you factor in Broadway and theater and all that. She can be a bit much though. But talent wise, let me look at Susanna Douglas though. I liked her as an actress, but Shirley Ralph had more versatility. But I did like Susanna Douglas though. I did like her in the Inkwell with Lawrence Tate. Funny. She had a style about her. Funny you mention that. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Excuse me. All to the side. Back. I keep it live on here so nobody wonder like, mm-hmm. All right. So most people think Jill Scott was high for making that statement about Chris Brown. Yeah, I hadn't thought about Susanna Douglas in such a long time, and she passed away 5 years ago. AJ Johnson. AJ. AJ. Give it age. Give it age. I like where you're going though. You're not naming the predictable folks, so I give you that. And these actresses were good. They just were treated like secondary in roles. Because a lot of people forget that black actresses had a strong base in 2000, but the 90s was stronger after the 80s being kind of like slim pickings. So it all depends. You definitely gave me some good material to work with, though. I'll write these down. And I like how you went from one era to like the 2000s, from the 80s to some interesting people I hadn't heard of in a while. In a while. I'm familiar with them, but I ain't heard their names mentioned in ages. The only person I ever met who asked me about Kim Fields and Karen Parsons, and that was cool. There was a lot of great talent that just didn't, because again, yeah, that's a blowout. That's a blowout. The Taraji is good, but she's kind of, it's like she doesn't have any appeal. And she's a nice looking woman, but she has no appeal. And the only time I feel is when she's with Terrence Howard. That's it. That's it. Most of her stuff, she's just flexing, and it just doesn't come across in ease. Regina King in a blowout, and twice on Sunday, and last Monday. Comedy, uh, appeal, personal, the whole nine. Taraji just doesn't. It's like she's good, but it can never get better. If it could get better, she'd be getting Angela Bassett's sloppy seconds. It's not. It ain't there. It ain't there. I tried. Watch her movies, and they just kind of after a while, kind of one and the same. She just missing something. Regina King got her beat though. RK got quite a few going for her. I like how when people ask if I'm on, that I'm on, they don't come. So, here I am today. And I appreciate the ones that are coming on, and not the trolls. I didn't need all that trolling today. That was uncalled for. But anyway. Yeah, it's frustrating about Taraji because it's like she's still young enough to where she could still have a nice 5-year window if she has something. But I don't know. It's missing something. And she's got appeal, some personality, but there's something just missing. Hey, you must have been watching that Nick Cannon thing. Jackie's always had my eye. And I wouldn't blame Michael Jackson. Uh, Kim Whitley is loud and funny, and she was with Jerry Levert. Jackie got more out of the career though. Jackie got more out of it though. Jackie had that pizzazz. Jackie had that pizzazz. If Jackie was white, she'd have been huge because she had the kind of aura and timing. She could steal your lines on shows. That's one of the reasons why she was so effective on 227. And she had that kind of it that was, yeah, Jackie. But Kim Whitley, nice though. But I'll say this: Kim is effective in movies. They remind me so much alike though, especially when she was acting thirsty in one of them Friday movies. But that's a good battle though. I'll use it for a future one. I like them both. They both on their game. Jackie was effective in uh, T and Tomorrow, Sister Sister. She whatever she does, it's Jackie. Jackie almost got like Little Richard type of humor. Hmm. I can see shoulda, husha, but yet soulful though. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's get some more in because I'll probably conclude in just a little bit. I've been on like almost an hour. Like I said, 25% or less I'll be on Saturday. Definitely Sunday I'll be on. I'm mainly gonna be doing 2 a week tops, unless of course I get a buzz where more people come on because you know gotta make sure that people come on and will be here. Right. Okay. We've been on for about. Mm-hmm. You're running this one more ad. It's been a good day so far too. Well, aside from all the trolling I had to deal with, but. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to call it a day. Appreciate everybody coming through. And I may be back on Saturday. Definitely be back on Sunday. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Take care. Peace. I'm out.